I'm in that strange in-between generation. I'm old enough to have seen Alien in theaters, but still young enough to create video content on YouTube. I hear the modern critique: Alien is slow, plotting, dark, and hopeless. And while many of the criticism applies, that's like complaining your medium rare steak dinner didn't taste like raspberries and chocolate. I'll hear how The Empire Strikes Back was the worst Star Wars movie ever made because it was slow, plotting, dark, and hopeless. But I didn't watch this classic example of sci-fi horror on a mobile phone and earbuds. I was there, in the second row. I sat at the far end, looking up at the screen that seemed 10 stories tall. Before I was Mr. G, I was just a boy G. My parents took me to the cinema. It was 1979, and unlike some of you, my family did not enjoy the economic fun times Jimmy Carter was known for. Why is this remarkable? Because this was the second movie my parents could afford to watch since Star Wars in 1977. The other was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's 2 years I waited to see a movie again. VHS was still out of reach, and all we had was syndicated television, over the air, with the help of an antenna. That's how we watched movies back then, and we liked it. Alien had a screeching chicken egg for a movie trailer. As a young, impudent boy G, I thought the trailer was one of the most stupidest things I'd seen. So I took my theater seat with low expectations, still comparing every movie to Star Wars. Did I not mention what I thought of Close Encounters? It's one of those movies that redefined science fiction set design and meshed outer space science fiction with horror that was once reserved for the majestic or highbrow. While Alien doesn't show influences of Star Wars, I admit I was influenced. Who in my generation doesn't think of Star Wars when we see the 20th Century Fox opening? But unlike Star Wars, Alien doesn't open with bombastic music and exciting space combat. Rather, the music is somber, mysterious, and a little lonely. It relied on the old-fashioned practice of opening credits, presenting the film like a novel. I still remember raising my eyebrows when the movie had trouble spelling out A-L-I-E-N. The movie will take its time telling a story. From the opening of the hypersleep capsules, Alien showed it was more reserved than Star Trek. While I won't use the word grounded, it certainly wasn't as futuristic and more akin to something we can relate to. The crew of the Nostromo were not superheroes or soldiers. The exaggerated heroism of the 1980s were around the corner, but not here. The crew have their meals, talk about work and the inequities of pay. We're told little details about their universe, the company, or the state of the economy. All that is important, that they're the truck driver type, the working class, humble, and no more special than you and me. Being rerouted, or better put, coerced into investigating a strange beacon of alien origin, some of the crew question taking on the additional work or risk. It's a conversation we imagine having in the modern day, whether it's 1979 or 2020. The exploration of the derelict spaceship symbolizes the fear of the unknown Alien is known for. How long has the spacecraft been there? Where did it come from? What did they see and experience? We are told none of that. Where Star Trek often depicts investigating new worlds and technology as wonderful and inspiring, Alien makes you feel dread, with the imagined horror of the past and what is ahead in the future. When Kane discovers a room full of strange objects that look like eggs or something, we're at the edge of our seat. This wasn't something you would see on Star Trek or Star Wars. Kane wasn't a galactic hero, just someone curious. Meanwhile, on the Nostromo, Ripley begins investigating the beacon and has a debate with Ash, the psychotic science officer. This is the beginning of Ripley's importance in the film, as her point of view gets spotlighted. This is not only a brilliant foreshadowing of what is to come, but very Hitchcockian, as now we are expecting something very, very bad to happen. In the first of iconic moments Alien is known for, Kane is attacked by an organic life form and needs medical attention inside the ship. Ripley, who wants to follow the rules. Ash, who acts like he wants to follow his captain's orders. And we come to another "what would you do" moment. Parker belts out something we're all thinking, why don't we just put Kane on ice? They try to remove the facehugger from Kane and discover unexpected consequences. The alien's blood is acid, and slowly the crew realizes they have a bigger problem. Ripley and Ash have a debate in the infirmary. It's a conversation that you expect the two would have, and you see things from both points of view. Should they have tried to save Kane or not risk the lives of the crew? Ripley's place in the film begins to elevate as she has another hot debate with Ash when the facehugger releases Kane. She detests the alien life form while Ash wants to preserve it. Ripley's challenging nature starts to rub off on Dallas as they begin discussing what Ash and the company wants. We begin to see the film through Ripley's eyes. Kane's awakening is the film's moment of false hope. It looks like it's time to relax and kick back. But while the crew enjoys their last supper, we witness the scene Alien will be forever known for. Kane is painfully killed as the chestburster makes its appearance that horrifies both the audience and the cast. The movie turns into a game of cat and mouse, searching for the little alien with the sharp teeth, using what's described today as lo-fi technology, with oversized and eloquent aesthetics. These are the last moments the crew of the Nostromo get to feel a sense of control, before Brett is lifted off his feet by the alien, now 9 feet tall. While the crew is shaken up, Dallas, the normally laid-back captain, takes charge and comes up with a plan that puts him on point to drive the xenomorph out of the ship by stalking it through the narrow air shafts. The ducts are claustrophobic and maze-like. Armed with little more than a flamethrower and a flashlight, Dallas's confidence begins to wane and looks to get out, but the alien is waiting for him and takes another victim. It is here that Ripley steps up and takes charge. The rift between Ripley and Ash widens. Ripley discovers the hidden secret of Ash and the company, learning that she and the crew are expendable. All that matters is bringing the alien specimen back alive. Ash's problems with Ripley boil over, and he goes berserk. But Parker and Lambert come to the rescue, and we discover Ash is a robot, sent from the company to better guarantee retrieval of the alien. Ash confesses his admiration for the xenomorph. He offers little more than his sympathies, and Ripley literally pulls the plug on him, because the hero makes the decisions. The crew is now down to 3, Ripley, Parker, and Lambert, abandoned ship. The audience is at the edge of their seats, running with the survivors, waiting and hoping. But the alien appears from the shadows, preying on Parker and Lambert, leaving Ripley the lone survivor. Ripley creeps through the dark corridors trying to avoid the alien, and working with the most clumsily designed, self-destruct doomsday device in science fiction film history. But she ends up dodging the xenomorph, straps herself in, and sails through space, escaping the Nostromo as it explodes in psychedelic colors of the rainbow. Just as you think there's nowhere the film can go, surprise, it's not over yet. Cramped in an escape pod, vulnerable and alone, Ripley must overcome her fears with an alien that just wants to take a nap. It's not a finale known for its action or a battle of wits. It's about stoking fear and anticipation. It's a countdown raising the xenomorph. As Ripley begins pressing one button after the other out of its slumber, the xenomorph approaches Ripley, but is blown out of the ship as human ingenuity overcomes alien tenacity. It's not necessarily a happy ending, but one that ends with relief, a moment to relax, an opportunity to go back to sleep and dream. In the 80s, during the days of VHS, I would have recommended viewing for its entertainment value. In 2020, it's more than just a film to study, but a film that should never be forgotten. It brought horror slasher films into outer space, while propelling the aesthetics of lived-in look and feel when science fiction were known to be sterile and clean. But more importantly, it introduced an iconic hero before they were identified by gender. It had a diverse cast, not defined by the color of their skin, but in personalities. It followed a theme without being an agenda. It subverted our expectations without insulting the lore. It brought the audience into the story with it, rather than lecturing or insulting them. Alien is a film that lets us ask our questions and have our own conclusions. It's a story that made most out of ambiguity, curiosity, and our natural fears of the unknown, because there are some questions more intriguing when they're never answered. I realize there are many great channels that cover Alien, and I'm grateful if you made it this far. Let me know in the comments below, where do you rank Alien in sci-fi and horror films? Like, share, or subscribe if you want to see more commentary and analysis. This is Mr. G from Synergy saying, don't judge an egg by its shell.